So what about, how do you feel about R. Kelly?
My
Music.
mind is telling me no, but my body telling me yeah. I think R. Kelly is one of the greatest R&B singers ever. Like, not singer, like he got the like pipes like Luther. He can't sing though.
For sure.
But you can't sit here and tell me that 12 Play was not the album though. You can't sit here and tell me that 12 Play was not that album.
Here's the thing,
You
man.
And this song ain't on it, but still, you remind me of my Jeep. You can't tell me. I'm just talking about 12 Play, the album 12 Play. Hands down, one of the best R&B albums ever. My man B. Onrea, what's up, bro?
What up, though, man?
Man, what up?
Just, blessed to be here.
Yeah, I saw you on a flight.
Yeah, man. I had a crazy day, man. I fly all the time, so being on the flight ain't nothing new. But this particular day, my car been in the shop for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a rental car, so I flew back to Atlanta today without a car. And my car, I guess, was ready, the dealership, so I had to catch, it's inside in Decatur. So I had to catch like 2 MARTA trains from the airport to Decatur so I can Uber. I didn't want to Uber from the airport.
Right.
And apparently, I had on. First of all, I know there's gangs, but and I know the Blue Line MARTA is like in go to the trenches. I understand that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I learned today.
Teach me, because I don't. Yeah,
Listen, I'm on the Blue Line train today, and I got on my Snoop Dogg, jogging, you know, and it has the, what do you call the stuff? The
pastel.
Yeah, the pastel kind of, I guess gang.
Yeah,
like
it looked like a flag. It looked like a.
So I got that on. It's black and like kind of gold, I guess. And I got on my gray, because it's cold outside. And I'm coming from Wisconsin. It was cold. I got on my gray vest, right? And I got on my white and blue Jordan 11 lows, right? So I'm just doing I got my luggage with me, my bag. And I'm on the Blue Line train. My first time ever being on the Blue Line train. You get on at 5 points and you go all the way to Indian Creek. And I'm thinking I'm going to Indian Creek because I go to Nally BMW, which is in Decatur, which is near downtown Decatur. So I'm thinking it's like close to Indian Creek, because they're like, I don't know, whatever. So I'm on there, and the police officer notices patrolling, which is not unusual, but they don't do that on the goal line as much. Right?
They let you know.
So this guy's like, yeah, man, he's standing by you, man, because you dress like the GDs. And I'm like, and I'm like,
the Gangster Disciples?
The Chicago GDs? Like, no, they down here too. I'm like, oh,
yeah, the Chicago GDs?
Like, you got on the colors, man.
You got on the colors, though.
And you going right to their territory. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, because this it's the West End, and all this, and I'm like, well, I'm going to Indian Creek. Indian Creek, no, man, you're gonna be right there, like, man. He talking about, man, his eyes getting all big, like, no, man, they out there robbing, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, you got on the colors, you dress just like them. I'm like, I'm like, man, this is Snoop Dogg, bro. I'm like, it's like, no, you better get off at downtown Decatur with the courthouse. And all the white folks say, you better get out over there. I'm like, okay.
It's like, yo.
So I got out right at downtown, which is probably the easier one because it was right down the street.
Right.
I got my butt off right there at I don't want no problems, man. Like I'm from the hood. I'm not scared, but I'm not trying to like dress like I'm in the gang.
I'm not living hood life. Like, I grew up in the hood, but I ain't trying to live hood life.
And I knew
that's crazy.
I knew a young man that took the same train, and he actually took the train and the bus home late one night from the airport and got killed a few months ago.
Wow.
He got robbed. He always wore retros, and he always it was late at night though.
Yeah.
But he got robbed and killed, man, a few months ago. Rest in peace to him.
Crazy.
But hey, look, man, I ain't want no want no smoke.
I don't want no smoke. I don't want no problems.
I want my luggage and
I don't want no problems.
my clean, barely unds 11 lows, man. And you know. Right, so yeah, apparently it's GDs in Atlanta. I didn't know that. Apparently, according to this guy, it's GDs.
How you know?
And well, he said he from the trenches. He said I'm out here.
Oh, he
told me he said I'm out here.
He said I'm out here for real.
He's like, man, I'm trying to like look out for you.
Hey, I appreciate that.
He's like, that's why that cop is right by you because he think you one of them.
Oh, bro. Speaking of cops, I got pulled over the other day.
Oh, he's speeding?
No. Okay, so remember, did I talk about it last time on the show where I got pulled over and my tags were expired?
I don't know. I know IC had a story about that, so I'm confusing my IC.
So in May, me and my wife, we out. We gonna go eat at this Thai restaurant. It's like date night, right? It was during the day. We were like, I don't gotta work. It was something. All I know is that we were gonna go to this place and we were gonna go eat, and I think we went to the movies, and then we were like, cool, let's go eat. Thai restaurant. Yo, what? Hey, hi, I'm Officer Salazar. Did you know your tags are expired? What? Nah. No, because we pay our registrations and our tags and stuff. Nah. He was like, yeah, they expired. Can I get out? Yeah, okay, cool. You know, he was cautious. I'm like, okay, can I get out? He's like, yeah, I just want to see. You right, bro. Dang. Did I not get a notification? I don't know, but they expired. And so we looked through all the paperwork. Nope, we ain't got. He was like, I'll give you a warning, but you got to get them fixed. All right, bet. It was so crazy because where he pulled us over at, there was an admissions place right there. You got to get admissions first.
Yep.
I was like, yo, the admissions place right there. Throw a little $20 over there. And then got the admissions done. Then I went and, online and paid for the tag. Cool. A couple weeks later, they sent me the tag, stuck it on the car, right? I got pulled over last week. Hey, hi, what's up there, buddy? Hey, what's going on? I'm going to speed limit and everything. Well, I'm being cautious. I'm like, man, I don't want to get pulled because I got pulled over for like speeding and they gave me a warning, right? But anyway, and I was like, what's up? He was like, your tag expired? I was like, nah, bro, you kidding me? We just did this we just did this in May. He was like, you did? Yeah, I put out all the paperwork. He saw it. He was like, you sure did. But they expired on your birthday. So what you paid was for up to your birthday. Your birthday expires, so you gotta.
Yeah.
I'm like, I ain't get no notification, no nothing.
B, it's the year.
Nothing.
It's the year. They put the year there, and
but bro,
your birthday coming that year.
Bro, it ain't on top of my mind like that. Yeah, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it because they usually give me a notification. Nope. Well, nothing.
I'm knocking on some wood because I haven't had no ticket in a while.
Right.
But I'm Mr. Prior to about 5-6 years ago, I was Mr. Ticket, Mr. Police Pullover Magnet. Like pull over all the time tickets. Like I said, knock on extra wood because I've been doing great the last 6-7 years probably.
Oh yeah.
I'm the master. I can tell you about tags and window tints and all kind of tickets and suspensions and
it's crazy.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Stay on top of that, my brother.
I gotta stay on top of it.
I got PTSD from all the tickets and
I was like, what? Expired? He was like, it's so funny. He said, because you did do all this, but you gotta do it again. He said, and you gotta get admissions again. Even though you just had one in May, you still gotta get another one. I'm like, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, only go to your birthday, man.
But I know.
But on the tag, every year has a different color.
Every year is a different color.
So if you notice, all the cars, the colors start changing.
Yep.
January, February. You see the colors start changing for it'll be 26.
I'll never pay attention.
Whatever that color is. Like I said, I'm programmed to pay attention to it because I've got hemmed up several times.
I'm paying attention to it now.
So
sure, man. August come. Hey, just get that. Let's go ahead and get that registration going.
Absolutely.
But man, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about tonight on the Indie Unplugged. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again. I'm Vaughan.
Brian Onrea.
And we got a lot of stuff to get into.
Yes, sir.
A lot of stuff been popping.
I know, man.
There's some stuff that's been popping that's not even on this list.
I know.
I'm like,
no,
man, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that because there's some stuff that
you can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Some stuff that's been going on out there.
You can talk about whatever you want to talk about, my brother.
Man,
it's your world, squirrel.
Where's your world, squirrel? I'm just. No, he said, "It's your world." I'm just a squirrel out here trying to get a nut.
I'm talking about the Music Factory.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about No. I saw you and him.
Oh, you go.
Orange Juice Jones.
Okay.
Yeah. At the end, he was like, he said, I miss you so much. I followed you today. He was like, yeah. I was like, dang.
And him.
I was like, you followed it. Yeah. But anyway, one of the things that I saw was this Joe Budden podcast, right? Mm-hmm. And on there they had
notice they, because Joe Budden wasn't on there.
Joe Budden wasn't on there.
Because he got arrested for running around naked in his
bro, that's what I wanted to talk about. That was one of the things I wanted to talk about, bro.
Because he wasn't on the show.
Right. How you sleep? You're not sleepwalking. Nah, bro. You're not.
Probably on something.
Joe, you're not sleepwalking, my guy. I know you're not sleep. That's not a sleepwalking. But nah, bro.
Butt naked.
Nah, you're not sleepwalking. Butt naked?
No, I just thought I'd point that out.
Bucket naked? You're not sleepwalking, my guy. I'm sorry, you're not. You're not. And then they say he was trying to get into the people's apartment. And then he walked back to his and went back in his. Like he just knew. He was like, oh, I can just go back in mine. Like,
he might have been on something, maybe.
I think he was on something. Like, come on, Joe. At least be. You ain't gonna be honest about it. I don't know, but bro, I saw that was like, my man walking around bucket naked.
And I just pray that, like, because substance abuse ain't no joke.
It's not.
And he's documented as, I don't know, pills, whatever he was doing before.
Yeah.
I just pray that he, not on nothing, and if he is, he gets some kind of help.
Yeah, for sure. Like, man, that is bucket naked. That is crazy, bro. But tonight, I saw that they were talking about on the Joe Budden podcast that music is dying. Well, it says the music industry is dying. Music isn't selling, right? And it goes into talk about how music has now shifted to be more of like a genre or like a playlist type of thing where people now want to put out playlists, types of songs, singles versus full albums. And one guy on there was like, I can't remember. I don't know any of their names outside of Joe Budden and Melissa Ford. That's
it. We got Parks, you got Ice, you got Ish, you got Imani.
Parks, Ice, Ish, Imani.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they do in real life. But anyway, that's not.
I think Ish is in real estate, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about the rest of them.
They had your man on there.
Imani's a singer, I believe.
What?
Yeah, I think he. I'm not an expert, but I believe he sang on a lot of Joe Budden's last few albums.
Oh, really?
When he was doing music, yeah. But don't hold me to that. That's what I think.
But yeah, so they were talking about just music is dying and music isn't selling as much as it is, and of course, as independents who are trying to put out projects and sell music and create music and distribute our work, that's kind of a sad thing to hear that music isn't really selling these days. But we kind of talked about it last week, that are people really buying or are they really streaming all the music, right?
Yeah, I don't buy none of that stuff they're talking about, by the way. I don't buy none of it. Like, all they didn't give any evidence or data.
They didn't.
Because if you look at the music industry is making more money than ever made before. Is. So what are we talking about here?
That's right. That was one of the things I noticed from that interview that I saw, that podcast that I saw, that there was no data that was backing it up.
They were just talking about what they
saw.
And even then, I think one of the people, I forget who was who, but was pointing out some of the albums that did sell well.
Yeah.
Like a Kendrick Lamar, Tyler the Creator. I know Eminem album did pretty well. And it's those are big dogs. Okay, well now you keep moving the goalposts. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You're moving the goalposts.
Keep moving the goalposts, man. I think within these questions you're talking about, what does it mean for independence?
Right.
I think that maybe your number of big superstars that sell 100,000 first week is decreasing, but I think that now more than ever, you've got independent artists who may not be popular at all making a good living on music. Streaming, 10,000, 20,000 listeners a month, 30,000 listeners a month, 100,000 for some that nobody even really heard of outside of their core fans.
Right.
That's running the numbers up. You know what I'm saying? And they're doing shows and they're selling merch and, and you got a lot of those.
A lot of those.
And they won't show up on Billboard. They might do 2,000 first week, or 1,000 first, or 500. They might even care about. A lot of them even selling in unconventional ways. They putting it out on Bandcamp first, or even first, then putting it out on streaming platforms. So their first week really is, none of that. Like, the point is, if you're still trying to operate in the music business under the older models, it's cause to be alarmed. However, if you're open minded and willing to adapt, it's wide open for you.
Wide open.
It's wide open. So all this panic, music ain't selling, music industry's dying. No, it's changing.
It's changing.
It's not dead. The money's there. It's just a different world now. You gotta adjust and adapt. So I think for stuff like that, it's make good for podcast fodder and good discussion and to going viral. But I think it's just gibberish when you look at like somebody who's just trying to. If you're somebody who's trying to make an impact out here, you can still make an impact out here. You still can.
Yeah, I mean, from an indie perspective, you definitely can make an impact because you have so many different avenues. I mean, you probably are going to take a different approach to getting your music out to the masses than maybe like a major would. I mean, cause they were talking about Doechii and the process of Doechii making her album, and that she really cared about her album, because one of the guys on it was like, most of the music is trash. Yep. And he was like, they ain't really, caring about their album. He's like, I got to eat today. I'm not trying to wait a whole year, for my album to, to go through the process of creating the album and writing and mixing and mastering and distribution. I'm trying to eat today. So
you're talking about Reason. Reason left TDE.
Yeah.
Because he, whatever issues he had, and they talking about TDE, because Doechii was on TDE for years, and this is her first project, albums, mixtape, whatever it's called. She had singles, and how they bring along artists slowly. And I guess the question was, is that, from their perspective, is that the reason why music isn't selling like it was? Because they're not really developing artists, they're just throwing them out there.
Right.
And I would say to that, it depends on what you want. Like if you want to be a superstar independently or have that superstar mindset, you're gonna put more into it. You're gonna put more into it, and it may be a longer road for you. You might not blow up like you want to blow up. It might take a while. But if you're, again, I always believe in a steady climb. If you want to be a superstar, that's fine. But you can still start out, pay your bills, set up an infrastructure where you can like do this full time.
Yeah.
And then build from there.
Yep.
Build from there. Okay,
pay your bills.
You're making $40,000-$50,000 at your job. Okay, how can I make $40,000-$50,000 doing music? How can I make $40,000-$50,000 doing music? Pay my bills. And just build from there. Now let me work on being a superstar. Let me work on those vibes. It's a slow climb, though.
It is. A lot of people don't want to do the slow climb, though.
Exactly.
They want to do the fast climb. They want to hurry up and run up the mountain. Sometimes you can't do that. They want the fast food. They want the, because they use the McDonald's example in there. They want the McDonald's because they know McDonald's is fast, it's cheap, it's easy, it's convenient, and it's like that's what people want. So I'm just going to put it out there. But that's the thing, right? Is as an independent artist, what are you actually looking to do? What are your main goals? I mean, like B said, if you're trying to really be a superstar, it ain't gonna happen overnight. You can't put out no fast product and think that it's gonna happen overnight, because it's not. I don't think it's gonna happen that way. It's going to be a process, a progress, in order for you to truly get there. You can't just whip up a song tonight, put it out, and think it's gonna blow up. Now, there are some songs that do go viral, right? But
like Jello Ball.
Yeah. but
that song blowing up. I like that. I kind of like.
I haven't heard it yet.
I kind of like that song.
I haven't heard it yet, but I gotta go. Of course, I gotta listen to it.
I kind of. Like
I haven't listened to any of the songs we talked about last time. It's just been mad busy, but I haven't heard that one yet, so I gotta go check that out. I
kind of like it, man.
But songs go viral.
Yeah.
But what do you follow up that virality with? It has to be more. I don't think that one song is going to keep you and take you to wherever you need to go, because people are all going to want more, and they're going to want to listen to more and to consume more. Which is the question: is like, as an independent artist, and that's been the question for a while, is do I put out music consistently via singles, or do I just go the longer route and drop a project? And I've heard people give different opinions and different perspectives. And it's like, man, ain't nobody checking out your music, man. Ain't nobody trying to wait for you to drop an entire project. Just put out some singles. Then I heard people say, well, if you're looking for consistency, looking for a body of work, then put out an EP, then put out a full-fledged album. these are just advice. I'm gonna say it this way. These are just advices that that people are giving. But whether it's right or wrong,
No, I think my biggest question is, do you enjoy what you're doing? You know, if you
Mhm.
enjoy it, if you can enjoy the journey,
right.
you know what I'm saying, then it's all worth it. Even if you don't blow up overnight, if you can enjoy the process.
Hmm.
And to your point, I personally think do whatever works for you. You want to put out an album, put out an album. You want to put out a single, put some
Not a
singles
single.
out. You know, it just depends. Now, I do understand why people say don't put out albums if you're unknown. Like I get that
Mhm.
because you know you want to like have some anticipation and have somebody to listen to all 12 songs on there,
Right.
right? But hey, maybe do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? My thing is this: from a business perspective, make sure it makes sense. Can you afford it and can you like get your money back easily? Like, and can you keep going? Or is this
Mhm.
whole album gonna put you bankrupt? You know, don't put all your
Mm.
eggs in one basket where you work on this album and you blow your whole wad, so to speak, and you got nothing. Now you stuck.
right.
Now you
Now
stuck,
you
right?
stuck.
So if you can continue moving forward and put out an album, put out an album every year.
Yeah.
Put out an album and then work the songs, 12-song album, work one song a month.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then put the next one out. You know, it's no rules, y'all.
There's no rules.
It's no rules.
And that's
Just
the beauty of being independent is that there are no rules. I mean, heck, you
mhm.
had Russ putting out as an independent. What was he doing? A song a week? I don't think he was doing. Was he doing a song a week? A
Yeah,
song a month? I
one
think it was
song
a
a
song
week.
a week.
Papoose did a couple years ago put out an album every month.
Album every. You there ain't no rules.
Ain't
You
no
can do
rules.
whatever you want to do. You want to do an album every month? You can do that. You want to put out a single every single week? You can do that. A single every month? You can do that. You got the power. The power is the power is yours, right? You can do whatever you can do whatever you want to do. I mean,
For
that's the
sure.
beauty of being independent because you're not confined to just what the old mechanisms of distribution and promotion are.
Mhm.
You can actually create your own and do your own and be creative with how you create music, how you just distribute your music, and how people access your music. Like a lot of things record labels like, no, you're not doing that. You're not creating your own site and putting your music up there. You're not doing none of these other stuff. But as independents, we got the ability to do so many different things. So I mean, I think that's the thing. It's like, irregardless of what the majors may be facing or what the perception is, because we don't know, right? The perception is from just this clip of what they were talking about. And you got to go check it out for yourself as far as, what they were talking about on that podcast. But yeah, I don't think music isn't, I mean, we talked about that last time. Is it selling? I mean, because a lot of people stream their music. So I don't remember the last time I bought the vinyls, but I buy
Yeah.
that because of, collection type stuff. But I don't remember the last time I actually bought an actual song in Apple Music.
Yeah, I think that digital downloads are pretty much dead. I think it's all about either streaming or some physicals like vinyl CDs. You know what I'm saying? Um, I just found out my daughter had a CD player. And she got a CD player and she collects CDs. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't even know that. You know what I'm saying? So
She got a secret device like
yeah, so it's like
CD player.
That kind of stuff, man, is where the fans are. You know, because my thing is meet the. That's the reason why I get a little frustrated sometimes when people like try to say force your fans to download your music when it's like you make it convenient for them.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to download it, cool. But I'm telling you, the trend is not going towards downloads. The trend is going to some physicals and streaming. That's
Definitely
the trend.
streaming.
So you want to make it easy for your fan base.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You got to know what your people are demanding and listening, where they're listening to your music at, and how they're listening to your music. So if you know they're not really buying music, you still want to make it for sale. Absolutely,
No, because your super fans will buy it.
They're gonna buy
Like
that.
you got the game on here, right? Like,
oh, we're gonna talk about the game. 'Cause I thought the clip was crazy.
No, but the game, I will like literally like, if he had an album just for download, I'll pay for it.
Yeah,
It's certain artists. Game is one. DJ Quick, another one. I would download it because I have all their albums downloaded, tucked away. You know what I'm saying? If the world end, I got CDs. I got I got hard copies. I can listen to DJ Quick and Game, no matter what.
Right.
But that you only got a small percentage of those super fans, which is great. But the general audience, you want to, you don't want to try to push them to like do something that's not that. Because I'm not. Again, the word fanatic, bro, fan, we use that incorrectly. Fan is short for fanatic. I'm a listener to a lot of artists. I'm a Kendrick Lamar listener. I'm a Drake listener. I'm not a fanatic of Kendrick Lamar. I'm not fanatical.
Right. I'm not fanatical.
But the world would say I'm a fan of Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
Oh, I'm a fan, bro. I'm not a fanatic.
No, I'm not a fanatic.
I'm a listener.
Fan like in that way.
I'm a liker.
Right. I'm a liker. I'm a liker.
I'm a listener. I'm not a fanatic. You know what I'm saying? So I think super fans is what we call three fanatics. So I just want to just point that out because I'm a stickler for accuracy. Posted that video last week. I like stuff to be accurate. Are you a fan? Are you a fan? Or are you just a listener and a liker?
Yeah, he a fan.
So anyway,
he a fan.
I almost lost my train of thought, man. I did lose my train of thought, but anyway, I had to make that point because I've been thinking about that lately.
No, you were talking about the game. You were talking about DJ Quick purchased albums as the world ended.
I'm a fanatic of those people, but I am a fan of. Well, here's what I was going to say. I'm not going to download Kendrick Lamar or Fabulous or Drake or all these people that I like.
Right.
But I'm not a fanatic over. I like them. I stream them. I might buy an album if it's real good, if streaming wasn't available. But back in the day, would you pay for a certain album? Because back in the day, every album you didn't pay for. Because if you kind of liked it, you ain't going to pay for it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, you might dub it from somebody. You might get the dub copy with the hits in it, right? But you ain't going to buy it. You had to have a real good album to actually buy it.
Yeah.
Whereas now, stuff can grow on you because I can stream your stuff. I stream it.
Stream it, and it grow on you. Like, Thong Song. That song had to grow on me. I didn't like that song.
I still don't like that song.
He still don't like it, right? When I first heard it, I was like, I don't know about that. But let the record show. Let the record show that I will buy every J. Cole album that comes out.
J. Cole I'm a J. Cole
fanatic.
I'm a J. Cole listener and a J. Cole liker.
Yeah, I'm not a fanatic. I'm a J. Cole fan. I'm a Boys to Men fan.
I'm DJ Quick, Game, Jodeci, I'm a fanatic over.
I'm a Jodeci fan.
SWV, I'm a fanatic over.
I'm a liker. I'm a SWV liker.
Coco,
but there's songs that I love.
Coco, man. Coco was like big. I'm talking about her voice, man.
Yeah,
but like, get that clear.
Let's clear that up, right?
Nah, she's like one of the probably top 3 singers.
Yeah, Coco ain't no joke.
Oh yeah.
I saw a video the other day, not to get off topic, but still relatable. A video the other day. I'm an R&B fanatic. So I saw a video the other day of Coco singing Weak throughout the years. From when they first sang it until like just a couple years ago. And they still performing the song. And it was just the dramatic difference in how she sang it in the beginning to how she sings it now.
Oh, probably more powerful now.
It's way more powerful now. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's way more powerful. She's really into it now.
That's on my bucket list, man. I gotta go see SWV in concert. I never seen them in concert before.
I never saw them in concert. I saw them at an award show.
And I think everybody who I'm a fanatic of, I should see them in concert.
Yeah, I haven't seen J. Cole in concert yet. So I gotta go see Cole.
I need to see SWV in concert.
I want to go to Dreamville. I want to go to Dreamville Fest.
It's probably the last year.
It is the last year. That's what I'm like.
Bro, go.
Bro, I'm a fanatic though.
You say you're a fanatic,
will pay, but it's not just if it was Cole by himself, absolutely.
Bro, go sell some t-shirts or something.
It's like 8,000.
Go sell some chicken dinners or something like that. Go sell some t-shirts.
Go some spaghetti and fish dinners. But no. That's the thing.
Make it happen, man. Life's too short, man.
That's the thing. Life is. So that was crazy. I was talking to some people today. We were talking about what's the one thing that you got on your bucket list, and that wasn't what I said. But I said what's on my bucket list is that I would like to actually sing in front of a group of people, a large group of people, with like as my bucket list thing. Like before I leave this world, I would like to say I did that.
Hey, because you can sing, right?
That's I guess.
Bro, why don't you do it?
He's like,
why don't you record some
music?
Wait, you
can sing, right? Like, that's what they say.
Record some music.
That's what I heard some people say.
Invite people out. We'll do a podcast and let you perform, you know.
Meant to get my here's
the thing, man. I'm not about all this wishing and hoping. I'm about this doing, man. I'm about this doing.
Yeah, I'm about doing too, but I'm going to do it with excellence. I don't want to be out there like, Yeah. I want to just, and it sound crazy.
Yeah, but how do you get to excellence? What do you
practice?
So what are we doing? What are we doing, B?
Practice.
What are we doing?
We practicing.
Are we really? Or are we just talking about? Are we dreaming about it? Are we actually gonna start?
No, we getting the practices in.
I'm just saying.
We getting them. We getting them.
About that action, boss.
Ooh, la 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 la. We getting them practicing.
Got to be about that action, man. You can't just be about talking. Got to be about doing it, man.
We getting them practices in.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Speaking about doing and practicing and being good at something. So your man, did you see that? Did you see that?
I did.
Did you see the comments though? The comments were great. But
so, YN, that's YN talking right there. That ain't Elliot Wilson, that's YN. You know YN?
No, it was YN.
Oh man, you got that's from his double XL editor days.
Oh really?
Yeah, he was YN, which is yellow nigga. That was his
yellow nigga.
That was his moniker. He would,
really?
He would talk greasy in editorials. Greasy. So for me, all these new people who are taken aback by Elliot, I'm like, no, y'all don't know YN. Y'all have no idea who YN is. Because he used to talk greasy in the editorials in double XL. You know what I'm saying? Real greasy. So I'm like, that's his YN.
Greasy.
Like, you know, that's just Elliot being Elliot.
Elliot being greasy, man. Like, okay. YN, right?
That's mild. YN used to go in.
So of course my man Elliot Wilson was on podcast Rory and Maul.
New Rory and Maul.
Right? Weren't they on the Joe Budden podcast before?
They were, yeah.
And something happened, and then they went off and did their own podcast. Must be you can be on somebody else's podcast. I ain't saying they, but anyway, it's different.
And Maul turned into like a Drake apologist over the summer.
A Drake apologist, like that boy knew everything about Drake.
It's horrible. It's I'm embarrassed for you, Maul. Some of your take. I'm embarrassed the way you be defending Drake. I'd be embarrassed for you.
Well, academics do the same thing.
Maul's different.
Yeah.
Because academics, he does, they both, but academics is a little bit more to the objective place.
Okay.
And that's
Maul
the thing.
Is not, right?
That's the thing. As bad as Drake, as Ack was on Drake case, Maul make academics look objective.
No way.
Compared to how Maul is. He made academics look fair and balanced. And we know he's not fair and balanced.
Fair and balanced.
Yeah, Maul was out of control.
That's how she started. I am fair and balanced. It's like, no, you ain't.
Yeah, that was crazy. But anyway.
But Elliot no. Elliot Wilson was on that podcast talking some stuff, bro. But what they was really talking about was he's sick and tired of rappers and all these other people, entertainers, becoming journalists or classifying themselves as journalists, right? And saying that they journalists. And specifically, they brought up Cameron and Mace and a couple other people that was in there. And Elliot Wilson, when he was like, I don't like that. Like, nah, F that. I don't like that. I don't like them trying to do what I do because I'm good at it. And they not journalists. They podcasters. They're not journalists. So stop trying to call them journalists when they ain't. And they were like, you saying they ain't? He's like, that's why they be hating on you. Because you be saying stuff like that. Like, they ain't journalists. And I don't know. Like, that's the thing, right? We talked about this before, though, on another episode of the Indie Unplugged. We talked about the difference between podcasts and journalists. But I thought it was just interesting that Elliot, who's an actual...
Elliot's competitive, though. He's competitive.
He's mad competitive.
And he looks at like, oh, this is like the artists look at, or like a sports figure looks at competition.
Yeah.
His interviews is competition. Like, he get mad if somebody else get a big interview. He don't get a big interview. Like, he's competing out here. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's kind of silly, but I respect it.
He's like, I'm still out here.
I respect it because he's putting on for the culture. And like I said, Elliot Wilson is probably the only, if not one of the only outlets that's not a culture vulture or who doesn't do culture vulture type of things. Activities.
Right, yeah.
He's one of the only ones out here not sprinkling a little bit of vulturism in there, so that's even a word, into their program. So my hat's off go to him, and I'm not mad at him competing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not mad at him competing either. And I think that's just like the debate of, producer and beat maker and whatever the case, right? Is there a difference? Is there a difference between a journalist and a podcaster?
I think so. Yeah,
I think so too.
I think
Absolutely.
I think you got, first of all, journalists. There's checks and balances. You know, what I'm saying? You got editors.
Yeah.
They have to approve your stuff. Fact checkers.
Yeah.
Because listen, and I'll just tell you, Cam and Mace, it is what it is. It's entertainment. That is not a real news source at all. Because they be having their facts all messed up. I'm a sports junkie. I'm a sports nut. So I'll be correcting 10, 12 things every episode. Like, that's not right. Like, no, who, what? Like, no, that's not even, that's totally incorrect.
Right.
But they're entertaining.
Yep.
So if you're looking to them for like real, like educated sports takes, you can forget about it.
Forget it, because that's not what they do.
And even to their credit, though, they bring on the Michael Irvins, the Maurice Claretts. They had O.J. Simpson on there for a year. You know what I'm saying? They bring on legit athletes to give a more expert analysis.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And even athletes that play the game, they don't necessarily have journalistic journalistic like
competencies.
Rules. Or journalistic skills.
Yeah. Competencies. Capabilities.
Right. They just know the information.
Yeah.
So and that still makes it good though, because it's more raw and uncut, because they're not obeying journalistic rules. They just say whatever they want to say.
Which is why I don't think they're labeled as journalists.
No.
The whole time I was watching this, I'm like, hey, why don't you just call them analysts or something?
Just call it a celebrity podcast. I mean, celebrity podcast. Here's the thing. As long as I know that they, aren't spitting facts, they spitting opinion, I'm all for it. I could laugh,
Yeah.
I could enjoy it, but I don't consider that journalism. But I don't think it's something to get up in arms about.
No, I don't think so either. That boy, he was up in arms about it though. He was like, "I'm good at it. I'll prove it to you." I'm like,
they said he was drunk though when he was recording that.
Bro, them comments were crazy.
Man, listen, comments, bro. People say anything behind the keyboard.
Anything behind the keyboard.
Behind the keyboard.
They're keyboard gangsters.
And half the time they're not even real people, or they're hiding. You know what I'm saying?
Keyboard gangsters.
My rule is, I think it's lame to talk negative online. I think if you got nothing good to say, keep scrolling. That's just my humble opinion. If you keep scrolling. Now, maybe, but even if you want to dissent a little bit, if you do it respectfully, I can get with that. But me personally, I'm not gonna waste no time, man, with stuff I don't like, because there's too much stuff that I do like that I want to spend time talking about.
I feel you.
But these trolls, when they get on there, that's why it is. Most of them ain't doing nothing. They don't got no podcast. They don't got no. Or as a kid, they don't got no motion. They just your only motion is being a hater. So like, man, get out of here.
But my man was mad. But I mean, we see that being something that's prevalent, right? We have athletes and we have entertainers who are moving more into the podcast space. Now, I don't personally think they're calling themselves journalists. I think people like Elliot Wilson are looking at them as somebody who's invading their journalistic space and taking, as he said, those interviews that he would get on their particular platform. And their platform solely exists to be entertainment. Yeah. Right.
Well, you remember, like, you had SZA. We talked about the Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
The Bazaar. SZA interviewed him.
Yeah.
Bunch of softball questions. You know what I'm saying? Now, a real journalist would look at that like, no, they didn't ask. It's not a real interview.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think, especially in sports, athletes like going on other athletes' podcasts because they're going to get treated a certain way. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to, I know Brandon Marshall, for example, I will put him a little more in the journalist category because he asks a tough question. He say, I'm going to be, he calls it being messy. But he asks the tough stuff that you might not want to, you know what I'm saying, the athletes might feel, but he'll ask it in a way to kind of like soften it up a little bit.
Right.
But I think athletes in particular, they have platforms. They're popular. They earned it,
Yeah.
So why not do it? Because listen, I love, Stephen A. Smith, but I want to hear from my heroes. I want to hear from the ones that did it. I like when Magic Johnson talks basketball. I'm all ears. You
I'm
know,
all
when
ears.
Jalen Rose talks about my favorite player in Detroit, Jalen Rose, I want to hear him what he got to say. I want to hear what these athletes got to say. You know what I'm saying? I like I Am Athlete with Brandon Marshall and those guys doing. I like Jeff Teague was it the 520 podcast. That's one of the best sports podcasts out. Jeff Teague and his crew in Indiana. You know, a lot of them, All the Smoke. You know, but they ain't going into music. You know, who we got? You got Joe Budden is kind of kick that off. Well, Ice-T technically had the first rapper podcast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. I love that podcast. I love hearing Ice-T and Mickey Benz spit game. You know what I'm saying? And he would interview Busta Rhymes, Big Daddy Kane, and to hear.
You want that information, that type of storytelling, you know, to dig into the background from peer to peer. Yeah. And they mentioned that, right? They mentioned that, you know, getting it from their peers is that we want to hear from people who are actually doing it, and we want to hear the stories behind it. Like, absolutely, we want to hear about that. But then Ellie's like, but are they journalists though? They're not journalists, they're podcasters.
I think the best podcast, and even Cam and Mace have stat, you know, Treasure Wilson there. And I think the best podcasts are when you have the expert, sort of like sports. When you watch a game, you've got the play-by-play caller, which is like somebody who went to school to learn journalism, to call what's going on. They just call what's going on. Then you got what's called the color analyst, who analyzes what he sees, who's a former player.
Okay.
Guy or girl. So I look at, because like when I was on Free Game with Will, that was my thing. My thing was I want to be the play-by-play guy to get all the facts, all the info. And next to me, I got the multi-platinum player to analyze.
Yeah.
You know, so the best podcasts have the
elements of both.
Like Shaq's podcast, he has a journalist next to him. They got Treasure Wilson, Stat Baby on It Is What It Is. The best podcast has like that media person there to kind of like help the journalistic side, and the other person brings the expert side. You know, because Cam and Mace, they might not have played sports, but they know entertainment. They know that celebrity lifestyle. Right. You know, so they got a little more insight. But they always bring in the Maurice Claretts. They gave Mark Jackson his own show, the Mark Jackson Show. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they're doing some good things, but don't look at them to be like
as your actual journalistic
because they don't be knowing. They just be entertaining.
Right.
And they kind of feed into the fact that they don't be knowing half the time. They kind of feed into it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's probably what adds an extra element into the whole mix of things, is that they may or may not know exactly what it is that, you know, from a journalistic perspective, you know, what all the facts are, but it just makes it interesting from the different stories. And I think people are looking for the stories, you know, about, like when he asked, when Cam asked Mace, like, you know, why can you never take me to Diddy? And he was like, Mace was like, "You was my guy, man. Like, I didn't want to take you." We want to hear them stories. Like, oh shoot, like I didn't know that was about to go down like that. Y'all really? And so, I think they're great entertainers. And they can tell great stories or bring great information from that perspective. But even from this, it's like, how does this even apply to the independent perspective, right? Like,
start a podcast.
That's the first thing.
I'm all for it.
That was the very first thing.
I'm not one of those people that say it's oversaturated. Everybody get a podcast. Shut up. If you listen, you're not forced to listen to everybody's podcast. So stop complaining about all these podcasts starting. Just shut your mouth and stop being a hater and go find something to do with your life. If you want to start a podcast, it's not too many podcasts. I said it before and I'll say it again. Having a podcast is almost going to be like having a MySpace page back in the day. Everybody gonna have one. You got an Instagram page, you got a podcast.
That's right. If you are an artist, a rapper, producer, whatever, singer.
If you do anything. And if you're a plumber, start a podcast and talk about plumbing.
Talk about plumbing. You know, honestly, bro, let me tell you what. I was telling I don't know if I ever I think I said it to my kids one day. You know, I was like, yo, y'all should start a podcast, bro. Like, y'all like games? Start a podcast about games. Like, y'all like, you should start a podcast talking about all the games that you like.
Why
not?
Why not?
Why not?
Now, obviously, if you don't want to start a podcast, I'm not saying you got to start a podcast, but what I'm saying is that should be a viable option for every independent artist.
That's right. It has to be on the table.
Every independent artist, you should consider doing a podcast.
Right. You should.
If nothing, talk about your journey. Talk about what you love.
Yep.
Talk about your new
Yep.
music. Talk about your why.
Yep.
Why are you doing this? Why should they listen to your music? And get some of your peers involved that believe in the same thing you believe in. Have meaningful discussions to provide value to the end user, your fans.
Facts.
And don't listen to these people saying, you know, oh, it's too many podcasts. Everybody got a podcast. Everybody got an opinion too.
Everybody got an opinion. Everybody, and not everybody got a podcast. That's the reality of it. A lot of people got podcasts, but not everybody. But start a podcast. Like as an independent, you have to find creative ways to get your message out, your music out, and a great way to do that is via a podcast. Like, and if you're not doing that,
and try to be good at it because you might suck at it at first.
I'm gonna tell you, anything that you do, you got to be good at it. The thing that I get tired of. So here's what really grind my gears. Is when people do something and they not good at it. They haven't practiced. They haven't researched it. They haven't really determined how to approach it. They just, now I get it. I am of the mentality of just do it, right? For me, when I say just do it, I mean, you ain't got to have a setup like this. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't got to have all these lights and all these cameras and all these microphones and all that. So when I say just do it with what you got. But don't be trash at it though. Be good at it, right? Practice. Go learn. Like before I even started this podcast, before I even started interviewing, before this podcast was renamed to the Indie Unplugged and all that, you best believe I was reading about how to ask interview questions and studying and going, okay, how do you really ask the right types of questions? How do you really move from one question topic to the next? Like, because I wanted to be good. And I hate when people do stuff and they just don't put effort into it and it's very minimal and they don't research it. And just be good at it. If you're going to do something, be good at it. You're going to do music, be good at it. Don't be trashy at it. Like if you're going to be good at it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's.
With the podcast thing.
That's my thing. Just be good.
When Joe Budden, the buzz came around and he had a multi-million-dollar deal with Spotify. And then the word not too long after that came out that Gillian Wallow got a multi-million-dollar deal with Barstool. It was like you saw a lot of celebrities running to do a podcast. Yeah. They thought it was going to be a money grab.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why, and a lot of those podcasts were terrible and a lot of them didn't last because they didn't really have passion into it. So it can't be like a money grab. That's why when Joe Budden was laughing, him and Nori was saying he loved when people fail. What he was saying was that he loves how people think this is easy and try to get a money grab and see that it's not, and then they fall off and they go and they just because they can't, endure the test. And besides, you gotta be willing to do it for free. Even if money is gonna be your end goal for podcasting, you gotta be willing to do it for free for a long period of time before the money comes in.
That's right.
So.
That's right.
I say do a podcast.
I say
do it, but do it good. Work hard. You know what I'm saying? Don't be boring. Put your best foot forward and go for it, man. Because we're here to serve the people. You are here to serve your customers.
That's right. That's right.
Give them good stuff. Me, I love talking about good stuff, motivation, and inspiring folks. So that's what I do in my way. But you inspire folks in your own way.
That's right. By starting a podcast.
Go for it.
All right, cool. Let's talk about the next thing. And okay, so as I was putting these topics together, I ran across this video. And in the video, they were talking about, the title of the video was Dangerous Copyright Precedent Set by Teenage Engineering. They could own your music. Like, what?
Yeah, what is that?
What? They could own your music?
I'm all ears now. What is that about?
So in this video, right, and this I think is something that is super important for music creatives. Because so let me explain the video. Because here's the issue, right? So the video is private now. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, private? Wait, I just watched this video. But the video is now private. And I'm like, yo, I wonder what happened. So in the video, here's what this video is, because you can't watch it now. So here's what this video is about. I actually put a description of this. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read what it says. It talks about teenage engineering is enforcing restrictive copyright policies on their products, targeting a specific YouTuber for using their samples in a review that he did under fair use.
Was that a group, Teenage Engineering? Is that the name of a group?
They're a music development company.
Okay.
They made that it looked like a little calculator, but it's a beat production thing.
Okay.
Sound Oracle has one. A couple other producers got one, and it's like they make beats on it and they do some other tweaking and some other stuff. I don't have one, but so right, and it's so here's what the crazy thing was. It says their licensing and their agreement prohibits even modified or public displays of their samples unless substantially transformed, creating risk for anybody who uses their stuff. Right? Anybody uses. So every software company, whether it's Logic, Reason, FL, Omnisphere, Nexus, Serum, you name it, Analog Lab, right? You name any Native Instruments, you name any software company that makes a software for music producers and creatives to use to make music. They have in their licensing agreement how you are able to use their samples. Even not even in just software, even in hardware, like the Roland Phantom, right? The Nord, any of those keyboards that actually have sounds in them, there are stipulations on how you can use those sounds. Right? They have in their contracts. And here's the thing, people don't read.
I was just gonna say, does anybody pay attention to that?
No, they don't. They don't read. And this guy didn't read that. They do not. People don't read. The contracts be hella long. People not reading on them contract. They just want to make music. Oh, I got a cracked version of FL Studio. I got a cracked
back
version.
in the day when I bought the Korg Triton. You know, there was no agreement with the Triton.
Yeah, there's an agreement in there.
But who do I sign? I never signed nothing.
You don't sign it. It is accepted upon purchase. Yes, sir.
That's funny. That's funny.
It is accepted upon purchase.
Your Timberlands and your Rodney Jerkins, they probably get trouble for you.
Bro, so teenage in this video specifically, Teenage Engineering stated that you could not use their samples even in a review of their product. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Vaughan here today. I'm here today to talk about the new KO2 software. They got this sound in it. This sound. This sound. No. They were like, no. And they put a copyright strike on this dude and made him take the whole video down and everything. All he's doing is a review. How many music producers do I know that do reviews on YouTube about
products,
software? And it is labeled under fair use because you're not using that music. Now, if I was using a loop that came out of this pack as my own, then that's different, right? They tell you what you can and can't do in the licensing agreement. Like I can't take sounds individually out of Omnisphere and then resell them. Those are not my sounds. Those are their sounds, right? Yeah. I can't take it out of Analog Lab and say, oh, I created these, even though you got people who do that, which they shady for doing that. Y'all stop doing that. You know them sounds don't belong to y'all. So what they got to do is they got to, and it tells you in there, these sounds are owned by this organization who licensed them to you so that you can use them to do X, Y, and Z. So, but now you got companies like Teenage Engineering who you can't even do a review to showcase their product. And they made him take it down because they didn't like what he said about their product. So now I can't have an opinion about your product. And if I do have an opinion about your product, you're going to come and give me a copyright strike and make me take it down. I'm like, what is this going to do for the production community, the people who use your product? Now you're stifling creativity. Now you're stifling growth as a music creator. And I'm telling y'all, this is not the only company that is out here doing that. You go look, and of course you're not, because who goes and reads all those things? Nobody has time to go read. We want to make beats, all right? We want to make beats. So who has time? Like, have you read your Omnisphere terms and conditions?
I haven't read nothing from nobody.
Nothing. And they explain exactly what's in there and how you can use those sounds. Now, most companies say that you can use their sounds within they're licensed to you. You can't resell them. You can't reproduce them. They give you certain things you can and can't do.
But you can include them in your original work.
In your original work. You want to take this in this sound and put it in your thing, feel free to do that.
But you can't go sell Blarn. You can't go start selling Blarn.
You can't sell Blarn to somebody else.
Right, got you.
And say that you created it. Like,
right.
Because it's
and charge me $50 for the Blarn.
Yeah. Like you press a key. Oh, I like that piano stab. Dong. I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna
record that record that and put it over on my thing. Right.
I'm gonna include it in my pack and sell it as my own original sound. You can't do that because it's not your sound. It's the sound of whoever that company is. But that's why I think that's why I think the video is private though. Because in this video, he's talking about teenage engineering. And I'm wondering, did teenage engineering, because this dude got tons of followers or subscribers or whatever. Did they come and say, hey, we don't like what you're saying? We already got this
Probably
one dude.
So.
We don't like what you're saying. But this is not the first time though. This is not the first time that a company has gone against a user of their software.
Yeah.
For saying something that they didn't like.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't have an opinion about your product, whether I like it or not. If your product is trash, I'm going to say your product is trash. I saw this video that somebody else made the video. They was like, you went after this. Matter of fact, it was the lady I'm subscribed to her. She's an attorney. And she has like red hair. I can't remember her name. But she has, I can't remember her name though. It's probably like a K or something. But she did a video explaining this, not this particular issue, but explaining how in their terms and conditions, these companies do X, Y, and Z. Some software company didn't like the fact that she was reviewing their terms and agreement on YouTube. Now, your terms and agreement are right there on your website, but they didn't like the fact that she went to their website or she purchased a product. It was something that she did. And she went over the terms and conditions on a video. They put a copyright strike against her because we don't like you talking about our terms and conditions to somebody else. Producers, I'm telling y'all. Music creators, I'm telling y'all. You got to read what's in these terms and conditions. Like you got to. Like that's probably one of the biggest things that irks me so much. Like when we talk about the music business for producers, that's part of your music business right there. I mean, because if you did put out Burn and you use that sample and it wasn't, and so for teenage engineering says this, it has to be modified for public display, right? It has to be substantially transformed, which means you got to take and you're like, I know I made a weird noise. That was crazy, right? But it has to sound so different that it is completely unrecognizable. Because if not, they can say, hey, we know you use that sound in your song. That sound came from our software. So you either want to do one or two things. You either owe us royalties or you got to take it down because you use a sample or a sound and it's against our terms and conditions. Oh man, when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh. Producers, creators, y'all have to know what's in your terms and conditions.
Or have somebody read it for you.
Or get a lawyer, right? Imagine you got to get a lawyer to go over your software you purchased because you don't want to read it. Yo, you got to read. Oh my gosh. Read your terms and whatever you buy. Just take a moment and read your terms and conditions, bro.
Or just scroll all the way down, click yes. Just scroll because you don't let you click that. Click yes until you scroll down.
Right. You better read that thing because I mean that's a real thing though. Like
it's too much to scroll down. It'd be fine. Just click yes. It'd be fine. Don't worry about it.
It do be a lot though. But that's what they hope. That's what they hoping for though. They're hoping that you scroll down just to the bottom and click yes and keep it moving. And you don't know anything about what goes on. Oh, I use Omnisphere all day, but can I use that sound like that? You know? Oh, I like the way they got that loop right there. Can I use that? Nah, we know you got that loop from our software just like that. You can't use that. Take that song down. Give us some royalties or something. But I just thought it was interesting. I thought I just wanted to call it out for the producers and the producer community to say, hey, make sure or even just any music creator, make sure y'all, read them terms and conditions.
For sure.
For sure. Man. All right, let's get to this last one.
All right.
I put this here because it was. I was like, yeah, well, I'm gonna put this here for B. Because hey, y'all know the game is B's one of B's favorite rappers, right?
For sure, since 2005.
2005. So I was like, I saw this clip of the game. It says the game reacts to exclusion from West Coast hip hop discussions. I was like, what? The game?
Let me give you a little background on that. I actually watched that full video when it dropped a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you did.
And well, the thing about it though, a lot of folks point out because, okay, the clip in question is just a small part of the video.
It's a small part.
The video is a cool video.
Yeah.
Billboard decided to rank like the best West Coast songs, anthems.
You
know what I'm saying? Based on their Billboard sales and their impact and all that stuff.
Right.
So that was a small clip, but it wasn't like the whole thing.
Yeah.
But the thing that got everybody talking, and it kind of lends to your thing. As a matter of fact, hold on a second. Because here's the thing, though. Everybody was talking about the title of the clip. The title is what was like. Even I was like,
the title is so misleading.
It is.
The title is mad misleading.
I'm gonna read it for you.
Mad misleading.
Because it's like, huh? You know what I'm saying? Because D Smoke, who won Rhythm
Season 1. Rhythm and Flow Season 1.
Yeah, he won. So it was him, the game, Roxy Diaz, and somebody from Billboard. Forgive me for not knowing his name.
What was his name? Carl Lamar.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the title says D Smoke and More debate the best get up anthems of LA. D Smoke and More. Like, huh? You got
more.
You got the game, who is West Coast hip hop royalty. West Coast hip hop arguably legend there.
And more.
And you put D Smoke and More? ... What the hell? What's going on over there? ... Like, that was obviously intentional.
Of course.
Obviously intentional.
Of course it was.
And I don't know, like, who don't like the game over at Billboard or maybe he said something off camera they didn't like.
Right.
But
so they were like,
but that lends to your whole question, because your whole question was, Game was talking about not being included in these discussions, and it's widely believed that Game often gets snubbed because of his behavior outside of the booth,
right,
on social media and all these beefs,
right,
doing what many people think are ridiculous things.
Yep,
burning bridges, like he burned the Dr. Dre Eminem bridge a couple years ago, and that was like
to the ground.
That was like not the smartest thing to do at all.
To the ground. You
never go against the people that put you on.
But didn't he make an apology about that?
I didn't hear. I don't know.
Did he ever apologize?
I don't think
no.
he did.
No.
I think he did.
I think he just talked about it.
He does tend to apologize about stuff.
He talked about it in what was that song? Which is Ricky. What was that song?
No, that song that song was on the Red album.
Yeah, the Red album. Yeah,
no, he did Dre and Eminem a couple years ago.
Oh, dang.
You know what I'm saying?
Again, after that?
No, that album, he didn't diss Dre on that. Dre narrated that album.
Really?
Dre narrated.
What album am I talking about? That? Hold up.
Dre narrated that album.
No, he said that's the same album. Yeah, Dre did narrate the album, but on the album he said I had to leave Aftermath because I was too defiant.
Yeah, still.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And the song was called Ricky, by the way.
Yeah, it's called Ricky.
The name of the song.
Yeah. Ricky.
And that beat was produced by DJ Khalil, by the way.
DJ Khalil's dope.
Very dope. I met
Super
him.
Dope.
I met him. Jay Hatch. I met him at iStandard.
Super dope.
iStandard B Camp in LA.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Khalil and Gang got some classic records. But anyway, his antics is what, because it rubs a lot of folks the wrong way, to the point to where they don't want to give him his credit. And I think that earlier in the podcast you talked about those trolls.
Yeah.
You talked about trolls. They're heavy on Game posts. Anything about Cam, you're gonna get like a lot of people hating on Game, a clown Game. And it's like, first of all, you're not gonna say it to his face, number one.
Of course not.
Number two, we're in this for the music, bro. Is the music good or is it not good? All the other stuff is like, to me, I don't want to be sexist, but it's kind of feminine behavior. It's kind of like feminine behavior to kind of sit to good online and talk trash about people. It's like gossipy. It's like, bro,
Yeah, of course.
Is the music good or is it not good? And Game makes great music.
Look,
period. So all the other antics and stuff,
I judge musicians, rappers, singers off their music. If I'm listening to you for your song, I'm going to give you props because you were a great artist, not because you were doing some crazy stuff.
Let me put you on the hot seat real quick.
Yes, sure do. Yeah. Let's do it.
Say a quick song.
Yeah.
Because homegirl, who I love, Teedra Moses, by the way. And I didn't realize she and Razcast are the parents of the twins in the West Coast Contra.
Really? What?
Yeah. Razcast.
Yeah. I think so.
Oh, I knew Razcast was the daddy, but I didn't know that Teedra Moses was the mama.
I didn't know that either.
I was like, huh?
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, she the mama.
Yeah, but see, that's kind of like an unfair advantage, though.
Sort of, but she explained it on.
That's like an unfair advantage. Your mom's Teedra, your dad's Razcast, and so.
But
it's like you automatically in the industry.
She explained though on an R&B Money podcast. 2 feet. She was on an R&B Money podcast a few weeks ago.
She was. I didn't listen to that
I
episode
did.
yet. You got 2 feet in the industry though. Well, go ahead.
But she was explaining how they did they things separate because she used to see her standards were so high that she wouldn't like if they weren't good, she wasn't gonna let them do no music at all because you ain't gonna mess up the family name.
Right.
But she said they were doing it away. She didn't even know they were, and they didn't want to come to her until they were good.
Right. Yeah.
So and they were like, we didn't want to tell you because we didn't know if we were good yet. We were trying to figure it out. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. You talked about separating the artists. Because on that podcast, she went viral for saying that, I don't know what she said exactly about R. Kelly, but she was putting R. Kelly as one of the best out there, and talked about how she still listens to R. Kelly, and it was a big controversy because you still listen to R. Kelly? How could you? You condone him what he was doing, and he was talking about little girls and all them songs and all that, and it's like. She clapped back, like, no, I still listen to R. Kelly. I don't condone none of that stuff. I'm here for the music, and I don't care what you say. And I stand on it. She was going off on people. She was clapping back at him.
Clapping back.
So
let's talk about it.
And we were talking about the game because to a lesser degree, because the game has not been convicted of any crime, even though he's been accused because he was messing with that one girl when she was 18, but she was grown anyway. But he ain't been convicted of nothing. But as far as his antics go, we separate. So what about, how do you feel about R. Kelly?
My mind is telling me no, but my body telling me yeah. I think R. Kelly is one of the greatest R&B singers ever. Like, not singer, like he got the like pipes like Luther. He can't sing though.
For sure.
But you can't sit here and tell me that 12 Play was not the album, though. You can't sit here and tell me that 12 Play was not that album.
Here's the thing, man.
And this song ain't on it, but still, you remind me of my Jeep. You can't tell me. I'm just talking about 12 Play, the album 12 Play. Hands down, one of the best R&B albums ever.
Oh, yeah. And I'm pretty sure he produced the whole album.
I'm sure. Yeah. You know how many hits this guy, bro? Now you getting into something that is like.
I just want to know, because we talked about separating the artist from the work from the person.
I separate him from that.
I feel the same way.
100%.
Because my thing is this: whatever he got into legally, prosecute him to the fullest extent and let the law take care of that. But the music is over. It's separate. The music is.
I can't even play this. I'm about to get banned. I'm about to play this. Hold on. Y'all can't tell me. Listen to this. Listen to this R&B right. Oh my gosh, B. You. That intro was so fire, bro. When I heard that mug, I was like, yo. And he got public, it's public announcement on there with him singing all the backgrounds on these joints. You can't, I separate R. Kelly, the person, from R. Kelly, the musician who made this album.
Let me tell you something. My favorite R. Kelly song is not even an R. Kelly song.
Oh,
He's not on this song, but he wrote and produced a song for this group called In Phase.
In Phase, yeah.
Spend the Night.
Yeah.
That's my favorite R. Kelly song.
Bruh.
He's not singing on it, but he wrote
it.
That and produced it. That song is amazing. That song, I want you to hold me.
Bruh, I will listen to
Control.
Bruh.
Let me tell you, and that's the quintessential R. Kelly production. You know what I'm saying? Kels is like, like I said, he in jail, and apparently he was charged with. He had his day in court. He's found guilty. He locked up. What you want me to do?
Yeah, I mean, go to jail. If you're doing grimy stuff, go to jail.
Yeah, so he is in jail. So that right. I gotta stop listening to his music.
No,
he's paying his debt, and I'm listening to the music.
I mean, Kendrick called Drake a PDF. You still listen to Drake, right? Like, but we don't know. Here's the thing. Unless we there.
It ain't my business to know though.
It ain't my business to know. Unless we
my
there.
Thing is,
we don't know.
If anybody does a crime in society, we should lock him up.
If you do a crime,
prosecute him, lock him up. He's been prosecuted. He's been locked up. That's it.
They mean I gotta stop listening to.
That's it. Like
Your Body's Calling though.
That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that song gets fired though. 12 play, play. Like I ain't gotta stop.
I was listening to R&B Money again, and I love when shows do lists. I'm a big list guy. I told you I want to do a top 11 show.
We need to do that.
I love lists, and that's why I love how R&B Money do the thing at the end where they had the top 5 singers and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, BJ the Chicago kid from Chicago, he was ranking his top 5 R&B songs, and he put this R. Kelly song called Exit on there. And let me tell you something, Exit, I don't think Kelly produced that song, but that song is the perfect example why R. Kelly is the greatest to me. Because if I had to play one song about the show why R. Kelly is the greatest, it's Exit. And I'm glad that somebody recognized that song. It's on one of his recent albums, but that song is one of my favorite songs ever. That song and Spend the Night, my favorite R. Kelly songs, because the way he's singing, the way let me tell you something, man. Like, you ain't gonna never get me to stop listening to his music. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, based on whatever, you ain't gonna they charge him with, keep him in jail as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, this is separate. The music is the music, man. Like, it's the art. You know what I'm saying?
It's the art. It's for me. It's the art.
Like, this table is a nice table right here. If you found out the person who made that table was in jail for committing crimes, you gonna take the table back? You gonna return the table?
Exactly, bruh.
Well, you found out that people who built this beautiful house, were into some bad things, and they in jail now. You gonna leave the house?
So fellas, grab your ladies and make it
real
wet.
Hey, come on, turn off the lights, 'cause girl is up. Y'all can't tell me. Y'all can't tell me when y'all heard that. Y'all can't tell me when y'all heard that from R. Kelly. Regardless of what R. Kelly did, that song still ain't the song though. Like, I don't want to hear it. I get it, because you know what? Y'all still support Disney.
What Disney do?
I'm just saying, like, Disney support stuff. Disney support things that other people don't like. But does that stop you from going to Disney World? Does that stop you from watching Marvel's What If? Does it stop you from watching any Marvel movie? No.
So you comparing Disney to R. Kelly? So you comparing
when I'm comparing
Disney to R. Kelly?
What I'm comparing
apparently was convicted of doing?
Nope. Because you talked about the table, and you said if the manufacturer did something, would you? So it's the same thing. You have organizations out here that do things, that support things that other people don't like, or that they don't support, or even may seem criminal in some people's eyes. But we still go to their theme parks. We still go to their movies. I'm just saying, we still shop at their stores. Speaking of shopping at stores, bro, I went to Walmart yesterday to go get some, man garments. Okay. Right? Man garments. They had the mugs locked up like they were in prison. was like, yo, why the underwear locked up like this?
Yeah, a lot of Walmarts had that, man.
Locked up. They locked up. They won't let. I'm like, why they locked up, bro?
A lot of Walmarts had it.
Like, why?
There's certain that don't. Like, I know which ones to go to that don't have it locked up.
I don't know. They need to tell me on their app which ones.
Because where I live, I can go to like 3 different Walmarts that's like in proximity, and only one of them don't lock everything up. The other 2 lock everything up.
Man, she said that. She's like, yeah, because people come in here and they open them and then they want to get a discount because it's open, or they go and they steal them. Oh, she said, and sometimes they go and try them on and then put them back in the package. I was like, so to negate that, we lock them up. I was like, man.
Speaking of that, shout out to Milwaukee, man. I got some good homies up in Milwaukee, man. So I didn't want to post it. I made a video. I didn't post it though. About I was at this Walmart. I forget the street it's on, but it's near where the Brewers play. So it's near downtown. Well, it's near where the Brewers play, whatever it is. I don't know if it's downtown or not, but it's in the city. On this Target. And when I tell you this was the most Walmartiest Target I ever seen in my life, it was like it's like they took all the Walmart people and just dumped them and said, y'all go to Target and run free. I'm like, what in the world is going on in here? This is the Walmartiest Target I've ever seen in my life. I didn't want to offend none of my Milwaukee people because I said, what's up? This how y'all doing in the mill?
The mill? That's how y'all doing it with y'all Targets are real like Walmarts?
Oh, man.
Like, man.
That was funny, man. But anyway, back to game, man. Like, I think that some of his antics, though. And here's the thing, though. I think that, like, when you're in the running to be a legendary rapper like the game, you should care about your legacy a little bit. Because when you're dead and gone, how are folks going to talk about you? It's sort of like Barry Bonds, man. Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire. They were hated so much as players, the reporters don't even want to put them in the Hall of Fame because they don't like them.
Right.
So a lot of times, if you're not a likable person, history won't look kind to you.
No matter what your stats are.
Exactly. And I think Game is running into that because all his beefs and he rubbed people the wrong way. It makes a lot of folks not really rock with him. Like him and Jay-Z never had a good relationship. Right. Because they had a little friction at the beginning. And now, him and Jimmy Iovine, it was a clip when Jimmy Iovine walked past him at the basketball game. And I think that's ridiculous too because that black man did make you a lot of money.
He did.
So, even if he on some mess, you could still like shake his hand and just
be cordial
with him. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for making me money.
Hey, how are you?
And keep going.
Just be cordial and then move along.
Yeah, but it just goes to show you how this guy has burned bridges with powerful people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And even to the point where they don't even put his name in the freaking title.
At all. And more.
Yeah, and more. and shout out to D Smoke. But D Smoke is a relatively young player in the league. Right. Compared to like the veteran legend the game is. So like, come on now. So I think that like when I used to be in the ministry, I used to be a youth minister. And I was part of a big organization, and they preached to us, the staff, about how you had to have perception management. You had to manage your perception among the congregation, among the whole community, because whatever's true and not true is one thing, but what is perceived is what's important. How does it look? And I think you need some perception management a little bit when you're like trying to be a legendary rapper or a legendary singer or a legendary anybody, legendary podcaster. You got to kind of watch how you move. Now, of course, I'm real big on don't care what people think. Who cares what they think? Don't live by other people's opinions. I get all that, but there should be a certain minimal level, though, of perception awareness, at least, where you're at least aware of how you're perceived. Absolutely. And furthermore, when you're trying to be a legendary rapper, you want to market and promote yourself a certain way. You want to make sure that all of your work gets its proper recognition. For example, the last few Game albums. Game always makes great albums, but they're getting overlooked in a world where albums get overlooked anyway. They're overlooking yours even faster, even though you've got some great, like that last album, when he on the beach with the girl, Born to Rap. No, that wasn't Born to Rap. Born to Rap, Drillmatic. He on the Born to Rap was before that. The Drillmatic album, a lot of dope songs on there. A lot of dope songs that just don't nobody know about because
it's a game, man.
Well, the most talked about song on there, other than Easy with Kanye, was the one by Eminem, the Black Sun Shady. And that got negative attention. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you don't want like your legacy to be that.
Yeah.
So I
I mean,
think
your
that
stats. No, go ahead. Say what you was
he
gonna
got
say.
some great songs on there though. He got a song called what is it called? Chrome Slugs and Harmony with Lil Wayne.
Chrome Slugs in
Listen,
Harmony. Chrome
yeah.
Slugs.
I might have butchered the title a little bit,
Oh man.
but it's a song with G Herbo and Lil Wayne. And G Herbo, I love G Herbo. Well, I used to love G Herbo. I got to love hate because I used to love him when he first came out. Then he kind of got a little whack to me. But G Herbo was on there rapping like the young, hungry. And Lil Wayne do his thing, Game do his thing, London on the track make the beat.
I gotta hear this song.
It's a dope record, bro. It's a dope.
Chrome Slugs in Harmony. Oh.
Yeah. Let me get the title right.
I hope that's the title. I hope
it's close. It's real close.
I
though.
hope that is it. Actually,
it's close to what I said.
Chrome Slugs in the Heart. Oh man, that's the
name of that song is Chrome Slugs and Harmony.
Chrome Slugs and Harmony. Yeah, that is one name right
that's
there.
The name of this.
That's a name.
Actually, that song has one of the highest. It's 1.1 million plays on YouTube Music, which is, high. Usually, the further you go down the album, the views get lower. But that one has a lot of plays on it. But my point is, one of the records is real dope that nobody's talked about because it came in. But it's amazing. He got some amazing Game. Bar for bar is one of the best rappers from the West Coast. Period. But he's, to me, top 20 rapper ever. Top 20.
Chrome. I gotta. Is he Chrome? He's Chrome.
No. They
I want to hear that.
They just sampled the Thugs Works Bone.
Chrome Slugs and Harmony.
Yeah, they just sampled the Thugs Works Bone. But I'm gonna fast forward to the I'm gonna forward to G Herbo verse.
That's Lil Wayne. I can tell.
Yeah,
because. Chrome. All right. YouTube can be like, hey, you played a lot of that song, mister. Who cares?
But what
we want to do.
What I'm saying is songs like that, though, get overlooked. And he got a lot of the records on here, but my point is, if people are not really checking for you, if folks not checking for you, that's the kind of treatment you get. So that's something to keep in mind, when you coming up, like, you don't want to burn bridges.
That's the title, boy.
That's a hard song.
That's the title, right? Chrome Slugs
I had it
in
right.
Harmony.
I had it right.
Man, I love it.
I had it right, man. A Father's Prayer is another good song on there, talking about his daughter's great song.
No other title you're gonna give me is gonna sound better than Chrome Slugs in Harmony. Like,
it's pretty good record,
Chrome Slugs in Harmony. Like, yo, that's it right there. hey, I'm about to go listen to that.
That's a hard song. My point is, if you out there though, like stuff like that, you must keep in mind your perception and how you perceived.
Yeah, I think that's for independence. That's super important. You have to know what image you're projecting in front of everybody and how other people perceive you, right? What do you want them to say about? I mean, that goes back to your brand. What do you want them to say about you? What do you want them to think when they see you or see your name or listen to your music, right? What's their perception of you as an artist, as a person? And so, because, we talk about when you meet a person within the first, 10, 20 seconds, they're already forming some type of opinion about you anyway. So
right.
How are you formulating your perception in the eyes of the people that, you are meeting with? Do they, so when that image comes up, how do you want them to perceive you, to think about you? hot to talk about you. You know, even when you go into other rooms. I'm a firm believer that I get that. I think your stats should speak. If you're going to be put in the Hall of Fame, right? And if it's a stat thing only, your stats should only speak. I mean, because I don't think the Hall of Fame is based on morals, based on principles, it's based upon you doing great music, and it is based on the stats of that music. I can hate you, but if you got great music, and it meets the criteria.
Well, and that's the reason why to kind of put a bow on this and answer your last question on here. As far as media goes, which we are, I think that, you know, as media, we should go out of our way to be objective and to highlight what's really going on in the culture. Stop talking about all this, you know, all the gossip and salacious. That stuff is cool.
Salacious.
That's cool if you want to do all that for your podcast, but I think we need media that's going to talk about the culture objectively and celebrate the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Analyze what happened on the field, on the field, you know, analyze it and bring it to light. Talk about the best rappers. Talk about what songs are actually good. You ought to listen to it. It may have been overlooked. Go back and listen to it. You know, we should talk about that. So rappers like The Game, or whoever is overlooked, should get their props because media is in place to kind of balance it out a little bit. Like this person might be an idiot, but here's this or whatever. You know?
But let's talk about his music. He may be in there doing stuff he shouldn't be doing.
Right, like R. Kelly in jail, but don't forget that he's the best ever, or one of the best ever. You know,
right? Boom. Don't forget, because he wrote some hits, and y'all know y'all was bumping them hits
for sure.
That's all I got. Man. That's all I got, B. That's it, man. That's it. Like, I think we're gonna let R. Kelly take us out of here. My mind is telling me no. Seems like you're ready. But yeah. Peace, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.